What? I mean, why? Is this your way of luring me into making a bigger mistake that would keep me in prison for the rest of my entire life and not just my youthful years? I asked, and he laughed. A sound I could give anything to hear again. Now, why would you ask something like that? He asked, and I shrugged once. Because I'm a Eustace Omega you'll be glad to depose. Besides, I didn't even think before jumping in and trying to save one of your subordinates, sister. And now, I might have made things worse, I muttered, avoiding his gaze as much as I could. No, you didn't. Unalive her, if that's what you're worried about, he said again, and I finally met his gaze, which had a little smirk curling up his lips again. The energy I felt around her when I passed beside her body to find you was very much that of someone who was alive and kicking. My head did a 360 spin, felt her energy. How does that even happen? I wanted to ask, but it was probably going to be because of some alpha syndrome whatnot. To find me? Why would you want to find me? I asked instead. Because I need your medical attention, he replied calmly, and I sighed inwardly before stylishly pushing myself away from the wall and away from his body. With all due respect, Alpha, you don't seem like someone who needs medical attention, I told him calmly, keeping my head low. I don't see anything wrong with you, I added, my voice rising a bit. You can only see what is wrong with me if you take off my shirt. Donnie, he muttered huskily. Heat rushed to my cheeks. Something needs to be done about that voice of his. Please, goddess. What? Take off your shirt, I stammered, and he nodded once. Take it off, he murmured, and my cheeks practically burned. God help me. My fingers itched to do just as he ordered, but thanks to the fear of getting tricked again, I held myself back. I dare not trespass anywhere around the Alpha. I'm sure the royal doctors can help even more than I ever will. Excuse me, Alpha, I pronounced with a deep bow, and immediately turned to leave, but he pulled me flush against his hard body so easily that it knocked my breath out of my lungs. Our eyes locked, and he kept it locked, daring me to break the contact as his strong hand on my wrist slowly led my hand to the buttons of his shirt. It's just a shirt, Donnie. It doesn't bite. His words sounded naughtier than they should. I undid the first, the second button, and down to the sixth, which was the last one. With each new one, I unhooked. My body felt hotter than the last, my breath becoming labored. When I was done, it was impossible to look away from the toned chest and abs that glared at me. Oh, moi, goddess. This is sewer. Unfair, bitch, I screamed inwardly, as my gaze skimmed all over his chest and his prominent tattoo that called to my fingers, until my eyes fell on the painful-looking stab wound in his lower stomach. Is the mate bond supposed to make you feel so hurt when you're not even the one that is wounded? Because right now, it feels like my heart is being ripped out. I slowly touched the sides of the wound, trailing my fingers over the surface gently, and I watched his hard muscles flex beneath my fingers. You're not going to stare at my bare chest all day now, would you, Donnie? This must have been so painful, I muttered, sniffling back the tears I didn't realize were streaming down my face. It was. Okay, but not anymore, he said, with an assuring look on his face as he lifted my chin until I was looking directly into his eyes. Then why isn't it healing? Alpha bloods heal faster no matter what, I asked, not convinced by his response. Because it was a silver sword. I had an unhealed silver wound in the same spot before this happened, is why. His explanation didn't make me feel better. The first person I would unalive with my 2 hands is the jerk that did this to him.